Hola compañero, welcome, pleasure. Right now I'm playing GameCube game on my modded Switch, and it is not via, I almost said Adrenaline, it's not via Android or Linux. I'm playing it directly in Horizon OS, in normal Switch operating system. It's actually very decent experience. Many great games already do run at full speed. Today we are testing plenty of them, and what's more, this emulator interface that I'm using, Tico, also supports systems like Wii, Dreamcast, Sega Saturn or PSP. Let's get into it. First and foremost, huge thanks to the developer for all the hard work, it's greatly appreciated. So, what is Tico? Tico is a multi-platform emulation front-end focused on delivering a console-quality user experience. It runs natively on the Switch, it's built in C++, and it is focused on performance and simplicity. Okay, here we are. This is the Tico, but this is just a forwarder. When you're gonna install it first, you're gonna find it in your homebrew browser. It's right here. Now let's launch it. So this is it. It has like three main categories: home, game select with all the different systems, and last one is retro achievements. I haven't connected here, but it's perfectly possible. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but there is nice background music, and all the other sounds are also suitable and enjoyable. So this is our home screen. I already added few games. You're just gonna launch the front end and you can jump right into the game you wanna play. You don't need to go to the system and, browse through here and choose the specific game, but you can do it straight from the home screen. Here in the game select are all the emulators: Dreamcast, Final Burn Neo, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, GameCube, Game Gear, Master System, Mega Drive, N64, NES, Wii, PlayStation, PSP, Sega CD, Sega Saturn and Super Nintendo. If I want to play some game, I just go to the desired system, then I press X on the game and I'm playing straight away. When I'm inside the game, I press Start Select to bring up the menu. Here is save state, load state, settings and exit the game. So I previously played it, so I press load state, slot 1, and here I am. I can continue where I left off. When I press settings, here we can change aspect ratio, display mode, integer, display 4:3, 16:9. If we want to change any other settings, we need to exit the game. And before we're gonna launch the game, we press plus for menu, and here we go to settings. And these are settings for the application. So we can see general settings, display settings, audio settings, library, emulator, accounts, updates, and experimental. Before it allows you to play GameCube and Wii, you need to enable it in here. Once it is enabled and you put ROMs inside, it's gonna show up. And here, as you can see, it says it's gonna be running overclocked. When you're gonna be playing GameCube games, it's gonna be running at higher clock speed. You can override it even higher with sysclock. I haven't done it, I was using just these built-in clock speeds. And still the results were very good. If you want to change any emulator settings, we go to Emulator, Dolphin, and here we can play with everything: emulation, screen, audio, system, graphics, hacks. Now you can see the options in here. I haven't changed pretty much anything. Here are graphics settings, and here are hacks. There are a bunch of them. Similarly, if you want to change some setting for different emulator, you need to do it in here. You cannot change the setting whilst playing the emulator. Now we are back here. As you can see here, I got a nice picture, but here is nothing. You can download the picture, you just press plus, and here you can find cover X. You need to be connected to internet, and first you need to set the Steam API key. So here, Mario Kart Double Dash. I can choose from bunch of covers, so let's pick this one. Is here, and if I would wanna add it to the add screen, I just press add to home screen. Here I choose location and press X to confirm, or A. If you want to install it, you need to go to GitHub official release page. This is the latest version as of recording this video, 0.7.1. Here you go to assets, you download the zip, and then you just need to copy it to your Switch. And you need to do it via the cable. The size is small, it's like 40 megabytes, but it takes like 10-15 minutes even doing it through the cable. As you can see, doing it via MTP will take hours, because there are thousands of these small items, so it takes time. And then you just launch the icon in your homebrew browser. It doesn't include any ROMs, BIOS files, system firmwares, DR and circumvention tools, emulator cores. So first time when you're gonna launch it, you go to settings, then to updates, and here you're gonna download the core you want to play. You know, if you wanna play GameCube and Wii games, you need to download Dolphin. I downloaded just Dolphin, Dreamcast, PSP, PlayStation 1 and Saturn. And on this side you can see it's like up to date, latest version. On the Dolphin it says update available, but I already updated, it's like some kind of bug inside the application. Okay, and now let's test some GameCube games. Tico for GameCube and Wii Emulation is using Dolphin. I've tested plenty games, then the new update came out, I've updated it, and now so many games do run so much better. This emulator is still work in progress. That means depending on when you're gonna see this video, the performance is gonna be or might be much better. Also guys, if you like Switch homebrew videos, subscribe, more are on its way. First game I've tried was Army Man Surge's War. It was running at full speed. It was running way slower with previous update, but with the new one it runs pretty much at full speed. And this is the case for every single game, almost every single game that I've tried. All of them do run so much better. Burnout 2, Point of Impact, full speed. There isn't a frame counter built into the app. That would be nice addition so we can see the exact frame rate. Now we can just about feel it. But as you can see, it feels great. Call of Duty, Finest Hour. This game was one of the few games that were running a bit slower. By the way guys, there is also a compatibility list. So if you wanna see how a specific game runs and you don't see it in this video, check the list, it's still being updated. Luigi's Mansion was running at full speed. Mario Kart Double Dash, also full speed. Need for Speed Underground 2, full speed. I've tried Underground 1, this one wasn't running at full speed. I've played with CPU clock rate option. It helped a little bit when I went lower with it, but it still wasn't really playable. Hopefully with upcoming update. Prince of Persia, The Warrior Within. This one seemed to be running at full speed. Sometimes it's kinda hard to tell if it's really full speed without the frame counter, but it was definitely playable. Resident Evil 4 was also playable. SSX Tricky was running okay, but then there were some slowdowns after I was playing for a while. Star Fox Adventures, full speed. Super Mario Sunshine, full speed. Super Smash Bros. Melee, also about full speed. Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, it was playable. I could hear some slowdowns in the music, but it wasn't bad at all. Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess was playable. I didn't hear any slowdowns. Turok Evolution was running at full speed. Beautiful Joe 2, full speed. Last game I tried from GameCube was 13. It was also running at full speed. GameCube performance in general was very good. I liked a lot what I've seen. The Dolphin emulator, in spite of being experimental in this front end, is already having a decent performance for many games. And as I said, I'm sure it's gonna be way better with time. Now let's check some Wii emulation. For this we are also using the Dolphin core. It's for GameCube and Wii games. Wii games are, in general, a little bit more demanding than GameCube games. And what's more, they're also quite larger in size. And because of that I installed only few, because I don't have really much empty space left on my SD card. Muramasa the Demon Blade was running at full speed. New Super Mario Bros. Wii was also playable. Mad World was a bit slower. Later I've noticed the motion controls were mapped to the right joystick. It wanted me to swing Wiimote upwards. I pressed the joystick up and it performed the action, which is nice addition to have straight out of box, you know, without me mapping anything to the joystick. Mario Kart Wii is supposedly playable, but there is some issue with creating a save state. You need to copy and paste it externally. I didn't do it, so I wasn't able to play it. That's about it from Wii. As I said, the games are really large, but then I also installed few ROMs for other systems. When I saw Sega Saturn in there, of course I had to try Panzer Dragoon. And the emulator had no issues running it at all. It was running at full speed. Saves and loads were also working the same way. I've just pressed plus and minus at the same time and the small menu popped up. Ghost of Sparta PSP, 2x upscaled, no issues at all. Split Second, 2x, also no issues. Tico is already a really solid emulation front end for hacked Switch. I have to say I'm a big fan. It's really easy to use, the saves, the loads, the controls, they are all ready to go. Initial setup is also fairly straightforward. For Dolphin you just enable it in settings. For Dreamcast Saturn you only need to provide BIOS files. And of course the hands down biggest benefit being it's running in Horizon OS natively. You don't need Android or Linux, just Horizon OS. Big 2 thumbs up, can't wait for upcoming update. Once it is here I will surely let you know, subscribe to not miss it. If you enjoyed this video give it a thumbs up. I would like to thank you all for watching. I would like to thank to all of my Patreons and channel members for their continued support. It's greatly appreciated. If you like what I'm doing in here, you might consider also to join. So once again, thanks for watching and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.